Coming up next, 5 years after a deadly shooting in State College, the victim's family focuses on helping others.
Doing things that are unifying, doing things that would heal the community.
Plus, a Penn State landmark gets ready to reopen after 4 years.
We've completely changed the lobby, and we want guests, when they walk in, to walk into this beautiful historic building and be wowed by the lobby.
And spring means it's lamb season in Central PA. We take you inside the barn to see the newborns. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Jessica Heisey.
And I'm Justin Chevalella. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story. This week marks the 5-year anniversary of the fatal police shooting of Osaze Osagi in State College. Reporter Abby Shashut shows you how family, friends, and community members came together to celebrate his life.
It's been 5 years since State College resident Osaze Osagi was shot and killed by police serving a mental health warrant, but his family is focused on remembering him by helping others.
We definitely want to see a lot of healing take place in the community.
They held an event this week that raised money for Osaze's Heart Scholarship given to underrepresented students. The 29-year-old Osaze was having a mental health crisis when police say he lunged at them with a knife and they fired.
He was a Penn State student, but second year in college, his life started to unravel because of his health challenges. So he eventually had to drop out.
Since his death, scholarships in his name have helped local students like Luis Otarola. Linda Wade said she was inspired to join the organization after meeting Osaze's mom.
It's one positive way for us to remember Osaze over and over and over again.
The group has raised over $115,000 to support students at Penn State and State College High School.
Nobody wants to look at tragedy and say that's good. It's not good. But good things can come out of bad things. So our decision from the beginning was to highlight all the good things we know about him.
In State College, I'm Abby Shashut for the Center County Report.
Police were cleared of wrongdoing in the shooting, and last fall, a judge dismissed the family's lawsuit against the borough and the 3 officers.
A Pennsylvania man is now free after spending 12 years in prison for attempted murder. C.J. Rice was convicted as a teenager in 2013 after a Philadelphia shooting. His pediatrician, the father of CNN's Jake Tapper, was a character witness during the trial, saying the then 17-year-old did not commit the crime and was wrongfully convicted. With the help of his new attorneys, Rice was exonerated this week and freed from prison.
A former Penn State student from the United Arab Emirates has pleaded guilty in a crash that killed a 25-year-old grad student back in September. The accident happened on Park Avenue in State College. A judge sentenced the suspect to 33 days in prison and 5 years probation, and he could face deportation. The roof level of a State College parking deck is closed after engineers found cracks on a structural beam. New support beams are expected to be installed at the McAllister deck sometime next week. Until then, roof permit holders must park in the Pugh Street garage.
Hilton Hotels and Resorts plans to buy the State College Graduate Hotel brand. The main changes will be to the hotel's booking system. After Hilton's acquisition, guests will be able to book rooms through the Hilton websites and use Hilton Honors points. The deal is expected to finish by the end of spring. And a historic hotel will soon reopen on Penn State's campus. The Nittany Lion Inn is undergoing a major facelift. Reporter Jeremy Laguerre is live at the inn with more. Jeremy?
For about a year now, the historic Nittany Lion Hotel has been undergoing changes. I'm here in front of it, and over the past year, they've been going through changes to help modernize it and give it a new look for the fall.
It won't be long until a Penn State landmark reopens. The 93-year-old Nittany Lion Inn has been undergoing renovations since last year, and it's been closed as a hotel for 4 years since the pandemic. The university sold the inn to Scholar Hotel Group, and its CEO says the renovations have been a long time coming.
Replacing all the old windows, replacing the old roof, fixing it, painting it, making it look very pretty, but also refurbished and refreshed.
Gary Brandeis says the outside won't look much different, but guests will notice a big difference once they walk through the front doors.
We've completely changed the lobby, and we want guests, when they walk in, to walk into this beautiful historic building and be wowed by the lobby. And so that's what we're hoping. That's probably the biggest thing that we want to change for when guests walk into the building.
You should also expect other changes, including updated rooms, meeting spaces, and a new restaurant on site. Brandeis hopes the community is happy with the changes come this fall when it reopens.
Well, we hope they love what we did, right? I think what we're doing and what we'll present when we're done is that we've preserved and protected this really iconic and important building, right? But at the same time, we've reimagined it, modernized it, and made it work for 2024 and forward.
Reservations are already open for the fall, beginning in September. Live in University Park, I'm Jeremy Laguerre for the Center County Report.
Thanks, Jeremy. Penn State will also be the first university in the United States to own a unique machine. A German research center donated a $9.8 million small-angle neutron scattering device to the Radiation Science and Engineering Center. The College of Engineering will use it to find molecular structures in organic materials. Only an instrument like this can look at such complex images. Penn State even constructed a building to use technology like this.
And in return, we promised them that we will designate 100 hours of reactor time or the equipment time to German scientists next 5 years.
The device is so big, it took 8 shipping containers to transport, and it took almost 2 years for dismantling, packaging, and radiation surveying.
In just over 2 weeks, the solar eclipse is coming to Pennsylvania. Reporter Eric Morris tells you about a fun event where you can watch it.
The April 8th total solar eclipse won't just be a special day for those in Erie, which is in the direct path. It'll also be a day full of fun in the Center County area, too.
We are poised to welcome as many people as possible from around Happy Valley to join us here at Medler Field at Lebrano Park, to join the Spikes and the Penn State Eberly College of Science, to learn a little bit more about this and marvel at it along with everybody else that'll be doing so across the globe.
The eclipse will be around 95% sun coverage in State College. How much difference does that 5% make?
The sun is so incredibly bright that you can't appreciate totality even with the slightest hair of sun left over. And it's not something that you can say in words. It's really just like this, this feeling that you get as a human, as an animal, as something on this earth. You see that eclipse happen in totality. It's really different.
A watch party at Medler Field that afternoon will include rocket launches on the field and a live NASA feed of the eclipse on the new video board.
We want them to have fun. We want them to come there and say, that was awesome. We had a great time and we learned something as well.
McIntaffer says solar glasses will be available so everyone can safely watch the sun. In State College, I'm Eric Morris for the Center County Report.
State College School District will dismiss all students 2 hours early on April 8th because of the eclipse.
Well, it felt like winter this week. Is warmer weather on the way? The weekend forecast is coming up.
Plus, the fastest growing high school sport in America has lots of ties to Pennsylvania. Also, coming up, we introduce you to small new additions to the Penn State Farm family.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
A local organization wants to help nonprofit organizations support women and children in our area. Center County Women United is accepting grant applications through early May. The goal is to help nonprofits buy equipment or expand programs that help women and kids in the county. To learn more, contact Janae Wyant. Her email is janae@ccunitedway.org.
Springtime means warmer weather, blooming flowers, and more. For Penn State's Animal Science Department, it also means some adorable new additions. Take a look. It's lambing season at Penn State's Beef and Sheep Center. Along with 100 ewes here, more than 72 babies have been born this spring.
We have two different breeds here. We have the Suffolk Camp crosses, and then we also have, that would be the black-faced lambs and ewes, and then we have the purebred Dorsets.
Morgan Brumbaugh is a Penn State alum and assistant manager at the center. She says the goal here is education.
In addition to our 10 live-in students, we also have, I would say probably around 7 additional students that live on campus or in apartments that also come and work here. So we try to keep a big crew, and we want to give the students the opportunity to kind of do the day-to-day stuff and learn in that respect.
One of those students is Taylor Gargis. She's worked here since her freshman year.
Usually I am on sheep side, so whether it's trimming feet, dealing with any problems with that aspect or anything, or vaccinating sheep, or the other day I was shearing sheep in the morning, so you never really know what you're gonna walk into in the morning. You just kind of got to roll with the flow, but it's always super fun, and there's always lots of things to do.
Students like Taylor get to do the feeding, day-to-day care, and learn about raising these animals.
They get to apply some of the things, the nutrition, reproduction, genetics, a lot of that stuff that they're learning in their classes. They get to kind of see how it works out in the industry as well, while they're going to school.
Lambing season comes with its challenges, of course, but the students wouldn't trade it for anything.
I usually help feed in the lambing room every morning, so going in and checking on everybody and seeing the newborns is a great start to your morning. So it's a good way to start your morning, is looking at baby sheep.
The lambs were born starting in late February, and they're still arriving.
They say March is in like a lion and out like a lamb. We have a few more unsettled systems before we have that April showers transition. Behind me is the Beaver Stadium time lapse from this morning with a beautiful sunrise as those clouds move out, bringing us a bright blue sky for our Friday. This will stay around for the afternoon as we have the anticipated showers for a wet weekend to come. Current conditions around 36 degrees and sun is shining. Feels like 31 as our winds are keeping things a little bit chilly. As we look at our radar and satellite, we can see to our north a low pressure system bringing snow to the upper to northern New York as well as the western New York Great Lakes region. It's kept cloud coverage north of I-80 for us in the morning hours. That's diminishing as that moves to our northeast. Temperatures across the Commonwealth are sticking around the 40s, low 40s into the mid 30s, a couple over by Erie and 29 in the low 30s as that system, the snowy system, is dominant in that area. As we look into our future cast, we can see how this rain's arrival will time out for our weekend. Dense cloud coverage by Friday afternoon, and by dinner time, showers start to come in from the west. And in the northern elevations and northern tier of the Commonwealth, we can see that there's a potential for wet snow and some mixed precipitation. None of that will be sticking too much and accumulating on our grounds. We'll have rain predominantly. We'll leave the snow to our friends in New England. That rain will be out of our way by Saturday evening, switching over to gusty winds as we go into our Saturday and Sunday. A wider look at this system. Once it's over the Atlantic, we can see high pressure taking control over the Commonwealth and the Mid-Atlantic region, giving us the pick of a weekend for Sunday, and that'll stick around for a brighter, sunnier Monday. As we look at our forecast for the week, we can see today, high of 47, mostly sunny conditions with some gusting winds from to our south. Tonight, rain rolls in, and that'll stick around, keeping things wet and dreary. Winds still from the south, low of 43. And for tomorrow, rain remains for the morning, and winds come in the afternoon as gusts can reach up to 29 miles per hour. Putting this into our 7-day forecast, we can see that pick of the weekend on Sunday, and then that beautiful Monday for our work week, getting things back to a seasonable spring with those highs of 55, 52s for our Tuesday and Thursdays as we switch over to the month of April.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly weather for warmer weather to hopefully start to come in.
That rain a little concerning tomorrow with so many sporting events. And speaking of sports, how about we head over to Kendall Skolicki?
Coming up in sports, Penn State women's basketball is hosting the first 2 rounds of a new postseason tournament. See how they're doing. And a local girls' high school basketball team plays for a state championship this afternoon. That and more next.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I'm Kendall Skolicki with sports. The Lady Lions hosted George Mason for the first round of the WBIT basketball tournament last night. Michael Bolger has the highlights.
The first ever women's basketball invitational tournament kicked off last night at the BJC, with the Lady Lions hosting George Mason. Penn State jumped out to an early 19-7 lead before the Patriots found their rhythm, with Paul Suarez and Zariah Walton knocking down shots for a combined 48 points. Coach Caroline Keeger knew her team needed a different look to stick in the game as they trailed at halftime.
We gave up 39 points in that first half. So we went with a lineup that was playing
hard and gritty on the defensive end. We were switching a lot of stuff between all 5 players. And then with Allie Brigham, we were trying to blitz some ball screens and trap some ball screens.
The change worked as the Lady Lions dominated the paint with 50 points, forcing turnovers and transition and feeding off each other's play to climb back into the game.
Is win or go home. So it's really a different level that kicks in when you realize, like, this is all we have.
Leilani Kapanis and Alicia Owusu took the win and go home mentality to heart as they made the final push to tie the game at 70, force overtime, and win the game by 4 points.
I didn't feel that competitiveness the first 3 quarters, and then them staring back at me in the fourth and the OT. I knew they were locked in, and I knew as soon as we forced overtime that this group wasn't going to lose that game, and they proved that, and they were battle tested there through those 3 quarters.
Keeger says the toughness is something to build on as they advance into the second round. I'm Mike Bolger for the Center County Report.
The Lady Lions will move on to the second round and host Belmont on Monday afternoon in the BJC. Turning to high school girls basketball, the PIAA 1A Tournament Championship is underway with a team from our area. Bishop Guilfoyle from Altoona took down Williamsburg on Tuesday to secure a spot in the state title game. The Marauders held the lead through halftime, but the Lady Pirates answered and took a 2-point lead going into the fourth quarter. That did not hold, and BG walked away with a 51-45 win. The Marauders face Mountain View as we speak in the state championship in Hershey. Bald Eagle Area High School is celebrating its first ever girls PIAA medalist in a newly sanctioned high school sport. Savannah Wood has more.
Eden Eveleth had a sports dream from a young age.
I think I remember when I was like 7 thinking I wanted to wrestle, and my mom was like, "Oh, you're not wrestling guys."
Fast forward to high school, Eden is now one of 4 girls wrestling for Bald Eagle, and she's part of history. This is the first year girls wrestling is sanctioned by the PIAA. From 0 teams nationally in 2020 to more than 180 today, it's the nation's fastest growing high school sport.
You know, we still have people in this school district, you know, that cringe about the whole girl thing, you know, but now that they watch it and they see the intensity and the levels, you know, they've started to change their attitude a little bit about it and say, wow, this is kind of amazing.
Along with Bald Eagle, there are local teams in State College, Phillipsburg, Jersey Shore, and Central Mountain. After petitions and signs and fighting for the sport, wrestler Grace Stem helped push to bring girls wrestling to the next level, as Bald Eagle became the 12th team accepted by the PIAA. Eden and others are proud to be a part of it.
Obviously, I would love to be there whenever it's like full teams and it's where the boys are at, but it's also really cool to be the one that like started it up, you know?
If we were just going through it now, I mean, who knows? It could be another 5 years before it could have been sanctioned, so.
Grace Cristani began wrestling just 2 years ago and grabbed a top 10 finish as the first PIAA state girls placer.
I knew I pinned her as soon as the ref slapped the mat and motions are running. You know, everybody's crying. And once I got my hand raised, it's making history and couldn't ask for anything else.
Whenever I was watching her match, I was sitting there, I was so anxious, I was just waiting for the pin, and then boom, I couldn't help but scream and yell and just, I felt so happy for her.
Grace isn't the only one who made school history at Bald Eagle. Angelina Grebe won the girls' first district wrestling title this year. She'll wrestle again next fall.
Well, I wanted to go to Penn State because of the curriculum they have, right? And I just sort of heard about Altoona having a new wrestling program that they sanctioned this year. And I was like, that's perfect. I'm still closer to home and I get the wrestling that I wanted.
Maybe Penn State, we even have their own, like, main campus, will have their own girls wrestling team someday.
Women's wrestling is an emerging collegiate sport too, and is on track to become a championship level sport by 2026, according to NCAA.
I'm just really, really happy to see the women out there that are just building.
Going to be something in 5-10 years from now. I think we're going to be looking back on this, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
In Wingate, I'm Savannah Wood for the Center County Report.
Coach Hockenberry says he hopes more girls try out next year and fans keep backing the team. The NCAA Wrestling Championships continue today. Penn State leads Iowa by 10 points at the tournament. 8 Nittany Lion wrestlers advanced to the quarterfinals today, including Carter Starachi. The finals are tomorrow night. Penn State baseball opens an important Big Ten series against Michigan later today. During a popular Dollar Dog Night at the ballpark, the Nittany Lions suffered a tough 9-7 loss on Tuesday night at Medler Field to St. Bonaventure. The cold weather postponed Wednesday's game against Bucknell. Penn State is 11-7 in Coach Mike Gambino's first season. The Penn State men's hockey team now heads into the offseason with a lot of decisions to be made with the transfer portal looming. After an up-and-down season, the Nittany Lions were first-round exits in the Big Ten tournament. Despite going under 500 on the season, Coach Guy Dowski is excited about the team's foundation set by the freshman class this year.
There's a frustration at times when you lose your top 5 goal scorers and to move things along really quickly. But then the benefit of that down the road is that you get a lot of players that you get to see that normally you wouldn't. And they develop and they grow. And that's why that's why we're very excited.
And speaking of future talent, freshman forward Aiden Fink was just named as a unanimous selection for the Big Ten all-freshman team. That's all for sports. Now back to you, Justin and Jess.
Yeah, and Aiden Fink, he was fun to watch all year, and I think the future is very bright for him and the team in Hockey Valley.
Yeah, thank you, Kendall. Coming up next, a Penn State alum shows off her skills in the kitchen with hopes to become the food world's newest superstar.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Support your PBS station and you can get Passport, giving you full seasons, early releases, special collections, and more. Get the PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime, anywhere.
Now a follow-up on a Penn State alum we featured last month. Chef Gabrielle Chappelle has been slicing up the competition on Fox's Next Level Chef. Chappelle has been climbing the ranks on the show, which started with 24 contestants. The former Center County Report anchor is now in the top 10. If you want to follow her cooking journey, you can catch her on Next Level Chef Thursday nights on Fox. Well, Jess, considering I put 2 pieces of bread in the toaster and still set off the smoke detector, I don't think I could have success like Chappelle.
Me neither, Justin. I'm excited to see how she does on the show.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, the microwave's always my go-to though.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Coming up next, the economic impact of a spectacular event that will draw thousands of tourists to Northwest Pennsylvania.
We're super excited about the solar eclipse.